Hi everybody, Elisa here with another Vera Bradley Bag of the Day. Today is National Wildlife Day, and so that's a day set aside to focus on various species around the globe, especially with an emphasis on endangered species and improving awareness just overall about that. And so I thought I would use that as an opportunity to switch out my bag and try to put as many animal patterns or patterns with critters um, in my bag as possible. Not all of them endangered, though, and then sort of show what's in my bag. Even though not every animal may be endangered right now, I feel like it's kind of, it never hurts to think about this because the way human beings are going, we're just kind of ruining the planet for all other life forms. So at a good clip. So not just on the surface, but also in the water. And so I just thought it might be kind of, nice to just sort of highlight the animals today and give a forum to the animals today. And that allows me, selfishly, to talk about a style of bag I haven't talked about before that I really love. And it's the Tic Tac Tote, a really good vintage style. And I have it in a couple of patterns, and I'll have to do other videos on them. But I pulled out the one in pink elephants, which people probably are familiar with, and it's a great vintage pattern, and it was a breast cancer pattern. A challenging pattern, especially in a bag like this, which uses the trim, the coordinating trim, to form a grid that gives the bag its name. And when you get a pattern, I've talked about this, especially with this pattern, when you get a pattern that is set up in such a linear way, in such a grid-like fashion, it can look crooked. And I feel like I did okay with this bag. I bought it used, didn't have tags, but it's in good shape, and it was not expensive. Can't remember. I never remember how much I paid, but I'm not paying a lot. For the ones that are not new with tags, I'm not paying a lot. And I figure, at some point, maybe in the future when I'm feeling more flush, I can try to get one new with tags and maybe slightly better. It's not that the alignment is off, but some of the strips of trim are sort of unfortunately cutting off little bits of elephants. So you get stuff like that. And I like to try to avoid that as much as possible. Like this is a good square here. But overall, I think it's great. Everything looks straight for the most part. Nothing looks too crooked in the rows of elephants. Everything looks pretty level. And so I was pleased with it. This bag didn't write down measurements. So, of course, everyone knows it's covered in the elephants. Very, very nicely done. Really sweet. The trim has these paisley shapes. I didn't measure it beforehand, so and elephants are more endangered, so that's kind of appropriate. I always prefer the African elephants to the Asian ones just because they have the bigger ears, but I love all elephants. I collect elephant figurines and stuff, so this pattern is kind of a no-brainer for me. The opening, when I pull it this way, when I sort of pull it, is about 17. There is no zipper. It has a loop here on one side and the toggle. But I rarely ever work that. I just keep it open. So it's just kind of gaping open, and you can see everything in there. Ooh, finally got good light to show the inside of my bag. That hardly ever happens. Let's all just appreciate this moment where my bag does not look like a black hole when I hold it up for the camera. Okay, so no exterior pockets, same front and back. Inside, and like I said, no top zip. The strap drop. And I felt this was a lucky strip here too with this the elephant. Very nice, not cut off. I don't think it. Yeah, it doesn't happen on both straps. You can see, but that was a good one. That's always satisfying to get something like that. About 12 inches. I don't mind. 12 inches is like the current Vera strap drop. I do like a shorter strap drop on a bag, on a shoulder bag, but on a tote, I'm a little bit more flexible with my strap drops. So inside, it has, and you'll see it when I get some of the stuff out, but it has two sort of hanging pocket flaps or whatever you would call them, quilted, and one has two slip pockets and the other has a zipper pocket. Okay, so, well, in one of those, well, I guess I'll take out my stuff first. So I switched out to an all-in-one crossbody in Sure Thing as my wallet. This is this pattern is just one of my loves. It's like looking at an aquarium, scuba diving or something, snorkeling. And for me, I know people love the turtles. For me, this pattern, I've said this before, is about the seahorses. Just a great pattern. And also, makes you think of all the other living things like coral, that we're just killing in the ocean. Coral reefs are dying. It's depressing when you think about it. More coral on the flap there. So I love this pattern. I do have a number of things in it, including both the small and the large Vera tote. I don't really like the small Vera tote, but in this, had to have it. Look at that coral there. And this came with of course it came with the crossbody strap I took off, because I just use it as a wallet or a clutch. And it came with a short leather wristlet strap, and I took that right off, and instead I put on a lanyard. Just a lanyard, so I have something in my bag. Makes it easier to grab if I need it. So I have that, and then keeping with the underwater theme, I have my Carson cell phone crossbody with a octopus front and back. I was very excited when I saw that, and the crabs. So very pleased with this this pattern. So just full of all the little sea life details. Very pleased. On a very sort of soft cream colored ground. It's nice. Sort of sand-like, which may be why they did that. And there's a very loose thread I need to trim off. There's a very subtle kind of pattern within that cream colored background. You can see it sort of snaking its way around. So this is a very nice pattern. Love the octopus. That's really great. Very graphic. Very playful with the curly cute arms, legs. Also underwater, but not Vera. This was my Amish made GPS pouch. Okay, and then moving on, we have some bird life. Because I love birds. I did just show this recently in a haul video. This is a Lighten Up compact organizer from the factory outlet store in Toucan Party. Love that toucan there. And the smaller bird on the back. Ooh. The animals are all coming around. There's a crab somewhere on here. Yeah, over there. So that was nice. And I have, what do I have in here? I have some charger cord stuff in there. Then I've taken to sort of carrying around a notebook now. More birds. I think they were calling this French Paisley on the website, even though it is the French Ditsy pattern. But for the notebook, this is a mini notebook, and I think that's what they were calling it when you clicked on French Paisley. This was actually what came up for the mini notebook. That's very pretty. Everybody probably is familiar by now with this line. It's the lining for French Paisley, but it's got this nice, it's kind of like end papers in a book on the inside of the cover. It's got this other pattern also with birds. So I've been using that, carrying that with me in case I want to write stuff down while I'm out. And I keep my pens in this on a roll case. I'm pretty sure, I always say I'm pretty sure. I haven't looked, I probably have the tag for this somewhere, but I just don't remember if it's the old on a roll case. But it's got a butterfly. It's Havana Rose. It does have butterflies. Butterflies are important too. Because we all need beauty, and they provide that. Also, keeping with the birds, this is the wide loop keychain in French Paisley. I had that here in one of these small slip pockets, just right in there, sort of like that. It was just hanging out, kind of, but it does have a bird. That blue bird with the purple wing is probably my favorite bird in this French Paisley pattern, like that. And then I put some masks. Everything else, well, you saw it when I held up the full bag. Everything was just kind of stacked in there. But I found this at the factory outlet store a while ago. Penelope's Garden is a lighten up version of Penelope's Garden. I think this was just called a pencil pouch. I'm not really sure, but I thought it was interesting. Of course, that's going for the critters. The critters are driving me always. And there's one on one side there. There's one of the hedgehogs, and then it flips over, so it's upside down. You know, if you just hold it that way. But if you flip it like that, and it's right side up, has another zipper, and the other hedgehog is there, so that's why I got it. So, oh, one on each side, that's great, and they're different. You know, I got both of them, so that was great. But it's sort of interesting, right, that the zipper is like that, kind of. Anyway, so I've been keeping masks in one side. This side is empty right now, and it's sort of like coated, like rubber coated inside there. Hey, no crazy. Okay. Did you really just steal her toy? Well, then I'm going to give her your toy. Okay. Animals are not getting along on National Wildlife Day. And on the other, I have some just regular, not Vera masks in here, just like your basic blue masks that everybody can get, you know, gets. And this one isn't coated. This is the back wall, you know, more of the lighten up fabric in there on one side, but this side is coated. Oh, so I see how that's working. It just occurs to me why that is. Because that's the fabric. This fabric is lined like that. That's the coating on the back of the fabric. And so this interior wall is the same fabric, and so it's only got the pattern on one side. So this is the side where the pattern shows, and this is the side where it's the back. That took me a long time to figure out. I went to college. Yes, I did. Do I have any hedgehogs in there? No. Bummer. Oh well, 2 is good enough. Don't want to be greedy. And so I have hedgehogs. But that's the animal there. The hedgehog. How about we don't kill each other in my video? Then I have my hand sanitizer, which is biodegradable and non-toxic to sea life. So they tell me. I hope that's true. It was just a shopping list in the zipper pocket. Then I thought, this gives me an excuse to pull out Animal Kingdom. This is a swing bag, which took me a while to identify, and I thank you to Angie for helping me with that. I don't think she watches the videos, but anyway. She's a real style pattern expert. Hi, Pumpkin. Don't jump. Please don't jump and hurt yourself. Okay. I just liked the sort of smallness of it. I bought this. This was an early eBay purchase for me. I hadn't bought a lot of stuff off eBay, and so this doesn't have great pattern placement, but it was inexpensive. I mean, I think it might have even been $8 or something. You know, it's not in bad condition, but it was definitely, you know, used and soft. But I just kind of wanted to get a feel for what the process would be and how comfortable I felt buying on eBay. So this is sort of like a test run. But you do get that trim with the elephants, the smaller trim on this pattern. Does the color's coming out nice. It looks more vivid on the screen than it does in person. Hey Munchkin, you okay? And the back just has not a lot on the back, you know, just that squirrel really. Big cat on the side, lion on the bottom. Inside's good. Let me lift the flap up. So that's nice. So this bag, I just threw some gloves in here, plastic gloves in here, but I did want to just show this bag came like this with a short strap, and that's what was sort of throwing me off, and I couldn't figure out what this bag was. And then with help from Angie, realized that the body of the bag was the swing bag, and that all the swing bags I was seeing online had longer straps. That was what was confusing and throwing me off. And so I looked at this more carefully. My mom was a sewer, and I could tell when I looked real careful that the strap had been altered. Someone shortened this strap. It didn't bother me because that was what was appealing to me about it. I was never going to wear this crossbody. It's too small. And so now I'm just using it as and it has a magnetic snap closure. I'm just using it as a, you know, a pouch in a bigger bag, and that works out well. And I just tuck the strap in there if it's bugging me. This is not lined with the typical Animal Kingdom lining, which is that striped lining, which I did talk about a little bit in my Persistence Patchwork recent video. It just has more of the fabric inside. Not quilted though. Is this still made in the US? Yeah, this is still back made in the USA days. And the back has a slip pocket. Here's a little bit of the lining. That striped lining. Surprised it's not on the inside of the bag. I hear kind of, you know, chatter back there that I don't really need to hear. Okay, Peaches, you cannot have both, and I really don't appreciate you getting this blanket that's new all chewed up. Okay. I did just buy this in the online outlet sale. It's for them. It's a throw in batik leaves. I always loved that throw. They were super cheap in the online outlet sale, so I got a big one for them. It's bigger than the throw I was using for them before. And then I thought I would use, try to use some Tavern on the Green today. And so I threw some masks in here. I think that's what I put in here. Yeah, so I have my Vera masks all in here. Oh, here's more French Ditsy. The birds. This is I think my favorite mask pattern right now. I did just order some masks, some pleated masks in Scattered Wildflowers, and so I'm looking forward to getting those. I do like the smaller patterns for masks. I don't like a bigger pattern on my face, and I do like the pleated masks better. I wish they would make French Ditsy in a pleated mask. So this Tavern on the Green, you know, has great wildlife. Everybody probably knows by now. It has unicorns, you can see. It's got squirrels and a stag and roosters and rabbits and some birds. I don't think this particular piece has a lot of birds. And this was the Elite crossbody. I think it's just called the Elite. But I know there's a large Elite also, which is more square. But it has Velcro on the flap. Look at that. There's a bird. The birds in this are very nice. They look like woodpeckers. The back is just plain. And so this is the strip of trim in this pattern. It runs around up over the sides, down across the front flap, and then back up and around to the bottom there. And then inside, it has a couple of compartments. The first one is just a big slip, and there's another slip behind, and in the middle, there's a zipper pocket, zipper section, which is a little bit smaller. It does have a non-detachable crossbody strap, and I have put this on crossbody, and it's a little small for me. It's a little short for me. So the bag hits kind of high on my body when I wear it this way. And so I don't. But I don't want to, I'll never wear a crossbody. But it's too beautiful, classic, it's a vintage piece, a good vintage piece. I'm not going to cut it. I'm not going to alter it. So I just take the strap and I tuck it in one of the slip pockets and it just stays out of the way. So that's what I was doing. Oh, there's another good bird in there. So this is a great pattern. I mean, I wish they would re-release this or put it in the custom fabric section. I would appreciate that. I would be all over it. I would get a Vera tote in this thing so fast. And they should release it. If they were to do it in the custom, they need to give you the trim, because the trim is where you have the unicorn. I mean, that's the whole point. If you're not going to do the unicorn, then don't, then it's not really worth it. And they would need to ensure that everyone ordering got a unicorn on their bag. Anyway, so that's Tavern on the Green. Ooh, there's a bird right there. This is a different bird. The crest is blue on this bird. Different coloring. And that's coming out well. This was new with tags when I got it. Okay, and then last but not least, my various zip IDs with lanyards for photos. And these have some good critters on them. This one has the bee. This is Lavender Meadow. And and there's some Itsy Ditsy on the wide lanyard, and that has a bee along with, here's the bee. Right there. Along with, your butterflies. I think I got a dragonfly on here somewhere, but I think it's important to call it, give a shout out to the bees, because that bee population is definitely dwindling, and that's very alarming. That's a problem because of their importance with pollination. And so that's kind of very sad. What's a dragonfly? So kind of important to get the bees in there for National Wildlife Day. Whoops. There's a squirrel on the Foxwood. And on the floor, is my Winter Palace with a bunny rabbit. A little bit of a deer there, it looks like. So that was that. And so now to the inside of the bag. I said it was 17 peaches. You're going to have to wait. Crybaby. It was about 17 across the top when I pulled it. Easier to measure now that doesn't have anything in it. 18 when I pull it without anything in it. And top to bottom, like 12 and a half. I like this base too. It's not too narrow. So from seam to seam on the base, it's 5 inches. And this bag does come with a removable cardboard base, which I have. It's not in here now, which I thought was interesting. I forgot that it wasn't in there, and I packed up the bag, and I picked up the bag and realized that I didn't have the base in there, but I noticed that the base of the bag was still holding good. It wasn't sagging. So that was kind of nice to learn, because I have another one of these in Yellowbird. Hi, Pumpkin. Want to come back up? Okay. Sorry about that. It is Wildlife Day. So I just thought that was nice to learn, because I have one in Yellowbird that when I bought it, the base was broken. The seller wasn't upfront about that, but the pattern placement was so good on that bag, and I just thought, well, I can put my own piece of cardboard or styrofoam board in there. And I haven't gotten around to it yet. Now I'm thinking I might not even have to bother. But it does slide in and out. There's like a piece of fabric here, and the cardboard slides in underneath it. So you can see this is one of the hanging sort of pockets here. This is the zipper pocket. Oh, she wants water. And here is the other one with two very small slip pockets. So you can, see it's real floppy without that base. But like I said, I packed it up, and it held its it kept its straightness, which I was surprised at. Maybe it's the way I had stuff packed. I don't know. This is the lining. Just sort of this lattice kind of lining. So I just put everything back in here real quick. I could put it on to give people a sense of what it looks like on, because it's nice in that it's not as deep as the Vera, the current Vera, which is kind of deep. People probably know. Just give me a minute, Peaches. I know what's going on. And so it kind of makes it easier to get to your stuff. You know, stuff you don't feel like stuff's really getting lost, you know, in this cavernous bag. And so I appreciate that about this bag. I really like that about this bag. This is probably not exactly how I had it packed up. Let's see, that's how I had it. That looks more like how I had it. Yes, I'm almost there. Almost there. Uh-oh, I don't have all my zip IDs. After this, I am going to run out to the store, so I do want to get everything in here like it works for me, so I don't have to redo it. Okay. I don't remember where I had these. Let's put them there. Okay, so there you can see everything again sort of in there. I'm coming, Peaches, just give me a minute. So it's higher, you know, it's much shorter this way, feels like. You know, I have never really actually compared it to the Vera side by side, so I'm not sure. I mean, the dimensions might be closer than I think they are, but it doesn't look it. It really does have more of an east-west look without being too narrow, you know, too short this way. I just like it. It's very comfortable and manageable. So when I take one strap off and, you know, futzing around in here, everything's right there. Yeah, it's not too long. So it does feel a little different. The dimensions feel more workable than a Vera. Even though I love the Vera and I have a ton of them now. But that also has to do with the lack of styles right now. So anyway, there it was. The pink elephant tic-tac tote, good vintage style, for National Wildlife Day. So I encourage everybody to go break out all their bags with critters to celebrate wildlife today. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and hopefully see you next time on Vera Bradley Bag of the Day.